Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to go over the most important Nintendo Switch accessory, whether you have the regular Switch or the Switch OLED, that you can buy. I'm going to explain why, and I'm going to actually, as a bonus, show you 5 other accessories as well. So drop a like on this video, feel free to subscribe, and before I get into the first thing, which is hidden behind Mr. Among Us over here, looking pretty sus, we have the first pre-video hype sesh ever, brought to you by NordVPN. If you're not using a VPN in 2021, you're leaving yourself vulnerable to having your information stolen or even your computer being hacked. But NordVPN is the fastest VPN on the planet with over 5,100 servers worldwide. And this month for Black Friday till the end of November, you can get 73% off with a 2-year plan plus an additional month free, making it only $3.16 per month. Using the link you're seeing on screen now, nordvpn.com/JakeRandall. You can also find this link in the description of this video and in the comment section. Even finger guns can't protect your security online, but luckily, NordVPN can. Super easy to use, just log in, select a region, and your IP address will be encrypted. You can even use NordVPN to access Netflix and Hulu from other countries to watch content not available in your own country. Finger guns, love bullets, and NordVPN. Mr. Among Us, let's get out of the way. And boom, this is the Neo grip from Skull & Co. And we're going to switch over to the overhead cam, and I'm going to explain why this is essential. Completely essential, must have. Some other accessories for the Switch, obviously, you know, with the Nintendo Switch, the Joy-Cons are not the most comfortable to hold. Okay, they don't have a grip like a regular controller, like a PS5 controller would. Let me get in the frame right there. They don't have that. So a lot of companies will make these other accessories like these Split Pad Pro grips from Hori, and you can see they're beefy. They've got an analog stick, and they just click on the switch. Boom. You think that's a great solution, right? It's absolutely not. And the reason why is every single Joy-Con that has Nintendo's name on the box, meaning it's licensed by Nintendo, every single one, or Pro Controller, or anything, if it's made by a third party, no rumble across the board. There's like a $100 Pro Controller out there, no rumble. So, obviously, you want to keep that HD rumble. You want to be able to get the full functionality out of your Switch, but you're not going to be able to do it with the regular Joy-Cons unless you get an upgrade. And this is so great because it lets you keep your original Joy-Cons, use Nintendo's hardware, and still be able to get that grip like a controller. So when you open this up, oh, let's open it this way, actually. This is not a sponsored video, by the way. There's a competing grip that actually offered to sponsor me, and I said no, because this is the best grip that you should be getting for your Nintendo Switch OLED. And this works for the regular Switch as well. So let me take that out. And you see there's 3 screws right here. If you want to put this on a regular Switch, you unscrew them, and then it will clamp shut just a little bit because there is a difference in size between the regular Switch and the OLED Switch. But if you want to use it for the OLED, you can. They also make a grip that's just designed for the regular Switch. So I just want to show you guys real quick. This is the regular Switch. It'll fit, and it'll fit pretty good inside these grips. But it is a little bit loose because it is just a millimeter shorter than the OLED Switch. So let's see if we can kind of, if I hold those up side by side, you can see that the OLED Switch is just a little bit longer. But this will fit perfectly inside. And what's amazing about this grip, what sets this apart, is on the back, these are what you're going to be holding to make it feel like a real controller. But if you don't like them, no problem. Take them off. There's 2 other different kinds. So you can have, they make this in white, but they also make it in black. So these are like the really fat, chunky grips. Or you can have what are called the trigger grips, which are these. Or you can have really, really skinny, like low profile kind of grips. If I can pop these out. Which I can struggle, but I can. So you can put these on as well. With the Switch, the left analog stick is all the way up here, but the right one's down here. So sometimes people need a bigger grip on the right side because the way your thumb comes out, this is a nice distance, but this, you kind of have to cramp it up. So you can put a big chunky grip on one side and then put a skinnier grip on the other side. They just slide on just like that. And then your Switch will just pop right in. And boom, that's it. As long as I chose the correct, there we go. Locks right into place. So we got the skinny grip on one side, the fat grip on one other side. You can play like that. I love, my personal favorite configuration with these is to do the double trigger grips. But again, you can do these. You notice this one is blue and red like the regular Joy-Cons. They have these in every color. Any Joy-Cons that have been made, they have color matching ones to put out. You can see this older model for the regular Switch for the Skull and Cold grip. I have the Animal Crossing blue and green. You can buy these for this. Any color you want. And what's amazing is you also, I'm going to recommend a case for the Switch OLED. And Skull & Co. makes a case that you can buy with this all in one bundle. And what's great about the case is it has this little pocket here where you can put your charger, other cables, whatever you want. But then when you put the grip in with those chunky things sticking out, it'll fit right in and the case will close nice and flush. And you can knock on it. It's very, very solid. So again, that is the #1 accessory you're going to want. And what's so cool about the OLED one is there's a new kickstand on the Switch OLED. This grip allows you to still use the kickstand if you want, and this is fully dockable. So you can insert it into your Nintendo Switch dock. As long as I have it centered, pops right in, locks in, good to go. And that's another thing, yeah, with your Switch OLED, you can use your old dock and it's still going to work. So let me put this off to the side for a second. One other thing that you're going to need is, of course, a screen protector to protect that beautiful OLED screen. Skull & Co. offers those as well. You're going to want tempered glass ones, not the cheap plastic. So I put a link for this in there because if you're picking up that case or that grip from Skull & Co., you might as well get this as well. One other thing, but you can get it from anywhere. Just make sure it's tempered glass. One other thing that I want to mention, this is my original Switch with the Monster Hunter back and the Zelda Joy-Cons. The next accessory I wanted to talk about is the Hori single Joy-Con with a D-pad. Now, if you look, the regular Switch Joy-Cons have these buttons instead of a D-pad, right? You have the face buttons over here, and there's no D-pad. There's just these tactile buttons. This Hori one, which comes in a variety of different designs. I just have the Pokemon, but they have Mario, Zelda, they have a plain blue. They have lots of different ones. You can see actually has a D-pad. And we'll just compare that next to these other Joy-Cons for a second so you can see. And then we'll take a closer look just so you can really see the difference between what it's like to have these. Now, if you're playing retro games, you want this D-pad. Now, the only thing with this is, remember what I said before, no rumble on third-party controllers ever. Say it with me. So it won't have any vibration, but if you're playing old school retro games, that's okay. It also won't work if you take it off the Switch. So it has to be connected to the Switch to work. If you try to take it off, and play like you would with a regular Joy-Con like this, won't work. Needs to be on the Switch itself. The Switch has a massive library of games and a very, very little amount of internal memory. 32 gigabytes if you have the regular model, 64 gigabytes if you have the OLED. You need at least a couple hundred. So make sure you get a micro SD card. And for example, just to show, I have this 256 gigabyte one from Samsung. Honestly, there's Nintendo branded ones of these. I'll include links for both. But I recommend the 512 gigabyte Nintendo one. That one you're going to find for around $120, I think. I'll put the price up on the screen for a second. But that one I highly recommend. You'll never run out of space pretty much. And if you do, it'll be really easy to manage your games and stuff and move stuff around. 128 gigabytes is like $20 now. So make sure if you've got a Nintendo Switch for someone, you get them this memory card too. Otherwise, they're going to be able to play like 1 or 2 games maybe, especially if they get some of the larger size games. That's why I highlight this in this video. It's probably the most boring accessory here, but it's essential. The next one is a Nintendo Switch Pro controller. And as you can see, I'm kind of a collector. I've got a few of these. This is the standard one. This is probably one that you're going to be able to find, and that's okay. This one will also be the cheapest, around $59 now. It used to be a lot more expensive. Their special edition ones will look really cool, but they sell out very fast. This one's probably impossible to find right now because it's just a couple years old. And then this one has been super hard to find. However, even just the regular Nintendo Switch Pro controller, if you're going to play either by putting your OLED up as a tablet or by playing just on the TV, you don't want to use the Joy-Cons. If you're going to put it in stand-up mode, in tabletop mode, this is the absolute best way. And I recommend the Pro controller over any other controller because, again, this has the HD rumble. You can scan amiibos to this, just like you can with the Switch. This is the only controller that gives you all the features. So when you're shopping for your loved one, or maybe for yourself, to get yourself something for the holidays to pair with your Switch, you might see cheaper options that kind of appeal to you, and you're like, oh, I like the design, I like the colors of this. Keep in mind, they won't have vibration in the controller. If that's not a deal breaker for you, some people don't like vibration, then go ahead and pick up the other one. That's fine. But this, the actual quality of it, you can just literally, I feel like I could just throw this against the ground, and full strength it would probably shatter. But like, this is the most solid feeling controller. And if you're gaming, that's super, super important. So I recommend the official Nintendo Switch Pro controller. So let's take a look at the huge mess right now that I've made on my desk. This is awesome. It's going to be really fun to clean up. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please feel free to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Full finger guns. And if you found anything you liked, of course, it's linked in the description below. I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I will see you on the next video. Full finger guns loaded. Bye, you guys.